With Washington's support, he was once one of Latin America's most powerful dictators. On Monday, Manuel Noriega moved meekly as he was led to the plane that would carry him out of the country that was once his patron. Convicted of money laundering charges in absentia in France in 1999, Noriega is likely to face a new trial after his arrival in Paris. But his extradition from the U.S. brings a long and twisted relationship to a close. As he rose through the ranks of the Panamanian Army in the 1970s, Noriega collaborated closely with the American CIA. Fighting covert wars in El Salvador and Nicaragua in the 1980s, the U.S. was happy to have Noriega as an ally in neighboring Panama. But after Noriega took power in 1983, naming himself General of the Armed Forces and de facto ruler of the country, his relationship with Washington began to sour. In 1988, the U.S. indicted Noriega on federal drugs charges, connected to cocaine trafficking and money laundering. In December of that year, 27,000 American troops landed in Panama to take control of the capital. They forcibly removed Noriega from power. At the time, it was America's largest military operation since the Vietnam War. As U.S. troops searched for Noriega house to house, he sought refuge in the Vatican embassy, and a now infamous standoff ensued. U.S. troops played loud, heavy metal music outside the embassy around the clock for weeks, until Noriega gave himself up. He was flown to the U.S., where he was convicted of drug trafficking and money laundering charges. He would serve 17 years in prison. For the last 3 years, Noriega has remained in a U.S. jail in Miami, fighting extradition to France. He and his lawyers had argued the U.S. was violating the Geneva Conventions by not returning him to Panama, where he is wanted on charges of murdering a political rival.
We believe the Geneva Convention specifically states that when a prisoner of war has finished serving the sentence for which he's been convicted, that country must repatriate him back from where he was seized. They can't just pass him around the world.
While his days in U.S. custody are now over, his legal battle's clearly set to go on. But at his age, almost certain to never return to the country he once ruled. Paul Werdel, Al Jazeera.